What are you looking at through the rest of the year to make sure that those keep coming, coming to fruition? If you're not doing much marketing, what are you controlling, amongst the factors that you can control to keep that pipeline flowing so you can repeat this strong start to the year that you've had?
Totally. Great question. So the short answer is on the on-market subdivide side, we get a bunch of stuff through referrals. We got good relationships with agents. A lot of it though is just like our own spotting, like when you do deals in certain markets long enough, you kind of get an eye for stuff. If you talk to John Jasniak, who's a friend of mine, he's got a huge Instagram account, owns Cornudas. That guy is relentlessly on land.com. He'll spot a deal faster than anyone I know if he sees an on-market deal somewhere. And 90% of the stuff he does is on market. So part of it is just like, your stuff, your markets. You pop on Zillow and land.com for 10 or 15 minutes a day and you'll find stuff, It's slow is the thing. Like, that's what I tell people when they jump in. They're like, hey, dude, I want to start doing on-market subdivides. I'm like, hey, that's great. I would tell you, pick somewhere that's got good minor exemptions, like a Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, one of the Carolinas, Tennessee, right? Arizona. Those all have some pretty good exemptions. Do your own homework. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice, right? But I would start there, hit markets first, because you can kind of get a gauge on pricing pretty quickly. If you've got buyers lists and agents, that's all a bonus. So that stuff just kind of like hums and haws along, Dan. On the distress side, I'm not going to lie, we're newer right now. Okay. So we've been we're sitting here January 28th. I made my first call, our first outreach into distress stuff 2 weeks ago from yesterday. And it was kind of crazy. I'll tell you, my first heir that I spoke with, my first phone call, I actually got a verbal where I was supposed to buy $1,000. I was going to give this lady $1,000 to buy an 83% interest in her $200,000 home, which is pretty nuts. And then she ghosted me. Which, guys, like I literally train land investors on sales and sales training. I've been call reviews for other investors and their teams for years. That's part of it, right? So I've sent her a bouquet of flowers. I've called her off another number where she ended up picking up. And we've had conversations. So I'll tell you what, when she is ready to sell, she's going to sell to me because otherwise she's losing this house to a foreclosure. Aside from that, my team is just building up the pipeline right now. So we're all actively making calls. We're pretty new, so I don't want to try to share metrics because podcasts live forever. This is going to go out into the internet